What's going on, everybody? This is Shamarcus, and this is Shamarcus Talks. And on this episode, man, we have no other than my big bro, my big homie. Like, this man has showed me a lot also, but he's put me in positions that I could show people other stuff. You know what I mean? And when I first started saying that I wanted to talk to entrepreneurs and let everybody know, he was one of the first people that came into mind because of what he's doing, because of the lane that he carved out for himself. And like I tell everybody, man, you're going to be able to talk about yourself way better than I can. But I want everybody to help me introduce Mr. William. What's going on there, sir?
What's going on, fam? I'm well, man. I'm alive, bro. Don't get no better than that, man. Another day.
Hey, man.
Mhm.
So y'all gonna we got a nick. I got a nickname for Will, and I call him William because that's his real name. But
Yeah.
Will, I actually call him Hove, and the reason why I call him Hove, you will never know. But I just want y'all to let y'all know that. But man, he is, bruh. How's everything?
Man, honestly, right now, everything is everything, man. I'm blessed, I'm thankful to, be in good health. I'm thankful to have amazing people around me. I'm just thankful, man, just for life in itself, man. Super, super, super grateful. My heart is full with gratitude to be able to be on this planet and do what you love to do. So I'm good, man.
That's what's up, man. Hey, your mic sounds dope, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
So man, without further ado, you already know I got to get into the good and hot stuff. So whenever I do bring people on the podcast, it's
Yep.
all to help someone else, help the next generation. And
Yeah.
I know that you, one, help people, and two, you can help people, guide them in a way so they won't make the same mistakes that you did. So the
Mhm.
first question I have is, tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you got where you are.
Yeah, man. So long story short, short story long. I've been saying that a lot lately, but it's just the truth, right? Man, I would honestly say I think where the flame was ignited was at a homeless shelter. Found myself talking to a homeless man out of committing suicide because he got a lot of false hope. He was gonna get a new crib and family members robbing him and people, misleading him down the wrong paths. And so, older man, probably like 67, man, just looking for some hope. And one particular night, he was on the verge of killing himself, and I went down there and I talked him out of it. 2 weeks later, come back to work. My coworker Jerome's pretty much just like, "Hey, Will, I need you to go talk to Anthony again. I think that you can reach him. I think that you can talk to him. And most importantly, outside of everything, he has some good news for you." I said, "Man, Jerome, I got to go down there and talk to him. Man, this dude about to kill himself. What if he killed me? You know what I'm saying?" He's like, "Nah, I think this is going to be some good news for you." And so went down there. I remember his bunk bed vividly. A6 bottom. I remember it vividly, right? And this is like, what, 7 years ago, right? So I go down there, man, and pretty much just say, "Anthony, how you doing?" And immediately he stops me mid talk and says, "Man, I just want to say to you, man, because you had to take my life, and I got my home, I got my kids, and I'm so grateful for you." And he gave me this hug. And I tell people this, like, and they think I be playing when I say this, but I'm like, yo, to this day, I feel like I still got a fractured rib because of how hard he squeezed me. Little scrawny dude, too. You know what I'm saying? Squeaky voice. And but typically the reason why Jerome knew that I was the person that can reach him, because I was always on the floor at the shelter talking to individuals. I want to know where you came from, what you're going through, what you're battling, whether you're drunk, whether you stink, whether bro, I'll be honest, even if you had bed bugs, like I didn't care. My biggest thing was, how can I be able to continuously humble myself and continue to be around individuals where people toot their nose up. So the light bulb went off in my head, fam. Like, yo, Will, your words got power. I said, man, it's a wrap. So 2 weeks later, my coworker, Brawley OT, says to me, he's like, "Yo, Will, I really think that you would be a good fit at the Providence Center, which is a drug rehab for recovering drug addicts." Ended up working there. It was my first presentation I ever did in front of 45 grown people, not no kids, grown people. And so, man, I remember that it was called Eagles Do Not Stress the Opinions of Pigeons. I gave that talk and I didn't even know. It's funny how, life works, right? And so there was two people that was going to leave the program in OD. They already had it planned, everything. And the counselor comes up to me. Now, mind you, I'm the only person in this facility without no degree. I ain't got no degree. I tell people the only degree I got is a degree of wisdom. That's the degree I got, right? And so having this conversation with Vanessa, she told me, William, I just want to let you know that these two guys were about to leave. Robert Green and I forgot the other individual's name. But they were about to leave, but because of your message, they're staying. And bro, like this is why I tell people there's a difference between motivation and empowerment. Motivation gets you to a certain extent. Empowerment helps you to navigate through adversity all the time. And so that day that I had that conversation with Vanessa, now these dudes are still following me on Instagram, telling me, Will, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. We're talking about grown men. At this time, I was like 20, 25, 26, bro. Or I'm 33 now. But the power that I understand that was within me to change people's lives happened. And I just believed and I knew that individuals that come in contact with me, they're either going to be impacted, make money, or their life gonna change. One of the three, right? And so to this day, man, they clean, they got the kids, they got the job back, they got the grandbabies. And so, yeah, man, that's where it all started for me. And that's where I took things to a whole nother level. So yeah.
Wow. Wow, bro. Like, I know your story because, of course, we talk
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
but I know it's some people that are going to really hear that and be like, "Oh man, that's different." You know what I mean? Because a lot of people won't do those little things. They won't help the people that are, I
Yeah.
would say, a little less fortunate than them. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like for you to help somebody not commit suicide, one, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever talked about it to not committing suicide. But that that right there should have showed you, which it did. Like, hey, bro, you that dude. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And my hat goes off to you for being able to step in your purpose and step into your light and really do the things in which you were brought here to do. So that also goes to my it flows right into my second question. Look how
Let's
that
go.
works. So I know you,
Hmm.
and I know it's people out here that either want to be speakers or want to be storytellers or want to do
Yeah.
something of that nature. Um, what? Because I'm gonna ask a real hard question. I hope you're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
What are some challenges you faced that made you not want to throw in the towel, or what are some challenges you faces, and then what made you not want to throw in the towel? Because the reason why I ask all of my guests this question is people don't talk about that part. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like people all talk about the glamour, the goal, how much money you can make, all
Yeah.
the trips you can take, all the
Facts.
cars you can buy,
Hmm.
all of these things. No one talks about the stuff that, bro, it really touches you and it really gets you to like, man, because you're going to have to go through challenges. And I'm
That's
a
right.
firm believer of you don't go through challenges for you, you go through challenges for somebody else. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Um, Firm believer of that. I've always told people that. So I know they want to know, and I'm gonna ask you again because I know I rumble and talk a little bit. But what are
Mm.
some challenges that you faced, and what made you not want to throw in the towel?
Yeah, I think the challenges that I faced was allowing my past to rob me of my present future. Yeah, like special education, who wants to hear your story, right? You're mentally challenged. Nobody want to hear anything you got to say, right? Your mom being on crack cocaine, nobody want to listen to that, right? And so I was really allowing my past and with the labels that people put on me to make me feel that my message shouldn't be heard, nobody cares. But the reason why I did not stop Shamarcus is because I understand, like you said, like our job is to leave the world better than what we found it and when we entered it. And so for me, what do I look like giving up when I have kids that are looking up to me? Right? What do I look like giving up when I have individuals who support me every single day? Right. And so the thing is understanding that the mission's bigger than your feelings. I'm gonna say it again. The mission's bigger than your feelings. You're always going to have a feeling on why you should not do something. But 9 times out of 10, your feelings are not valid. Yeah, they're not valid, right? And this is why they're called feelings because they always change, right? But with your legacy, that doesn't change. Your legacy is your legacy and what you leave behind. And so for me, I said I can quit, but I'll never get a reward for quitting. Nobody gets a reward for quitting, right? I mean, maybe the only reward that you get is, the fact that you get to complain about why you quit. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, like, I want the reward that says, yo, like, I understand that every single person that is at a high level has always had to go through some type of friction, had to go through some type of crushing. And again, I always tell people, right? If you look at an olive produces many things, right? But the most important piece for an olive is to be crushed. And what I've come to realize is people want purpose and power without crushing. And that's not the way life works. If you're looking to level up and you're looking to grow up, then you have to be crushed, right? And so, again, nothing great happens in your life without the process of pruning and crushing. The more you're crushed, the more oil you create. And sometimes, here's the crazy part, sometimes you think that you've been crushed and you haven't been crushed enough because you have more to produce. And so, again, if you're looking to go to higher levels, welcome your crushing. Your crushing is meant for you to create other opportunities for other people. And again, one of the things I've learned, man, is that nobody wants to be the first. Nobody wants to be the first, right? Typically, individuals, they want to be second. But when you're the first to make mistakes. You're the first to deal with certain things that most people didn't deal with, fears, right? Different types of unknown things that's happening. And so again, I say to everybody, man, like I allowed my past to rob my present future. But then once I realized that the crushing is meant for me, so that way I can produce oil to impact other people's lives, I said I can't give up, I can't quit, because at the end of the day, I'm not remembered for being an olive. I'm remembered for being what an olive produces.
Bars. Like,
Hey,
bruh, I'm you already know, bro. I'm like, all right, let me hear this. Let me hear it. And you don't know, but I needed to hear that as well, just
mhm,
because like people don't understand the stuff that entrepreneurs go through, right?
yeah,
You won't understand the stuff that entrepreneurs go through until you actually start down this path.
that's a fact.
And that is like that's dope. I heard something the other day that I'm taking this olive thing too, bro. Like I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
somehow or another get that
right.
one. But I was talking to somebody, I forgot who it was, but we were talking about the same thing. And he told me a different scenario. He said when like a eagle sheds his beak or something like that, from what I was
Oh
told.
yeah, yeah.
And he said in order to get a new beak or whatever, he has to break the old one.
Mhm,
And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it's painful, but he knows that has to happen, right?
mhm,
It hurts, but he knows that in order for him to eat better, to do all of these things better, it has to happen. And when I heard that, bro, I was like, dang, that's deep. But for you now to say the olive story, which bruh, I'm still thinking about that one. I'm gonna rewind this one back and listen to the olive story. But just to
yeah,
know that, bro, like that is a very deep message. That's another reason why you're on here. Is because of just that, the intellect that you bring. Because I tell people I can't tell you how to do something I don't do.
that's good.
That I can't. I can't show you how to do something I've never done and be confident in it. I can't. There's people out here that can. I just can't. I can't tell
Mhm,
you. Like, I'll give you an example, man. Uh, Me and my son wanted to play soccer. I
mm,
have no recollection, no nothing about
yeah,
soccer. Nothing. Basketball, I'm telling you everything. Track,
mhm,
I'm telling you everything. Football, I'm telling you half the stuff. I'm telling you all offense, no defense. But for soccer, I don't know soccer. Nor did I try to learn soccer. So what did I
mhm,
do? I went next door. One of my neighbors is actually, and I know he's gonna watch this. One of my neighbors actually is a ref and is a coach for shots for soccer. All the people that he's coach of all went D1. So I tell my son,
wow,
hey, oh yeah, he dope. But the thing is, I knew I couldn't teach my son that. So ain't no like I can tell you like what I see on TV, but that ain't gonna be the real thing. How about let's go get you somebody who's actually done it, who's actually
Yeah.
doing it,
Yep.
and let them help you. Because I'm
Mhm.
a man, bro. I have pride and everything like that, but
Yeah.
I know when somebody else can teach something else better than I can.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yes, bro. I know that was a long drawn out
No, no, no,
deal,
bro.
but
That's good. That's good.
but yeah, it's that's one of the things, man. Even when we're talking, because we talk on a regular, we don't talk like we used to. But even when we're talking, bro, you give me insights to stuff that I look at differently now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I hope I do the same for you.
Always. Yes, sir. Always. Yeah. Yeah.
So my next question would be, what advice would you give the people that's listening that want to go down this path of everything that you're doing with the speaker, with the I know you do conferences, I know you have your your new wardrobe out. Shout out to Willis Bless. All of these things, and I know the hard work that you've put in. I know the stuff that you've done, but what would advice would you give somebody that wants to go down that road?
Yeah. Step number one, look at all the greats and ask yourself, did they do it by themselves or did they do it with a coach? That's number one. Yeah. You can't name one person that has done things at a high level. For an example, look at one of the greatest to ever do it, Michael Jackson. Look at his life with Quincy Jones and look at his life after Quincy Jones. Which one was more successful? With Quincy Jones, hands down, right? If you look at his life, he had back to back albums that were platinum, diamond, right? And still platinum and still diamond and still generating money to this day for his family. Why? Because when you take talent and you put it in organization, you get success. A lot of you are talented, but you're all over the place. That's why a coach comes in to guide you and direct you. Michael was very good at what he did, but when he got with Quincy Jones, he went from good to excellent. Your problem is you're comfortable with good and you don't want excellence. Excellence is the peak. You look at somebody, and I know Shamar is gonna love this one. You look at Kobe Bryant, Mamba, right? A lot of you say Mamba mentality, but you really have a minimum wage work ethic. Yeah. You say you want Mamba this and Mamba that, but do you really understand what that means? This man tore his Achilles and went to go shoot 2 free throws. That's not good. That's not great. That's excellence. If you're good, you're gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna walk off and I'm gonna go get healed. No, no, no. He said I'm gonna finish the way I started. The problem most is you don't finish the way you started and you get mad because you're not seeing the results that you want to see. This is why it's so important. Kobe, as good as he was, when he got with Phil Jackson, it took things to another level for him. In other words, today, who is your Quincy Jones and who is your Phil Jackson? You have talent, you're good at what you do, but you need somebody who can organize it and put you out there at a higher level. Yeah. And so the next thing that I would say, Shamark, is on top of that is don't start things that you're not going to leave a legacy with. Ask yourself, why am I getting into this? Like, am I really looking to speak to make money? Am I looking to speak to change lives? And I always say there's two types of speakers in this world, fam. There's the speaker that speaks for change, and there's the speaker who speaks for change. They just missed it. I'm gonna say it again. There's a speaker who speaks for change, and then there's a speaker who speaks for change. Well, what are you saying? I'm saying some speakers speak for money, and some speakers speak to make an impact and understand that the money will follow them through the consistency that they have according to the gift that they've been given. Not everybody's a speaker, and you got to be okay with that. Not everybody can coach, and you got to be okay with that. My question to you today is: are you operating in the wrong gift? Yeah, because you can hear people speak, but the question is, are you a speaker? Right? Because if you're really a speaker, then that means you're willing to go through not getting paid for years. If you're really a speaker, that means you're willing to hear no and no and no. Hey, we want to go with you. Oh, we went with another speaker. Hey, we want to go with you. Hey, unfortunately, the contract, we don't have the fund. You have to be willing to allow the no to be your best friend so you can get to your yes. And so everybody wants to be a speaker until it's time to do the work of a speaker. I tell people all the time, Shamarcus, speaking is just 10% of the business. That's the easy part. A lot of y'all can speak. The difficult part is the 80% that happens on the back end that you don't see. The nose, showing up on calls, mastering your talk, mastering your stage presence, mastering how you can be able to take friends and turn them into, I mean, take strangers and turn them into friends. Right. And so when you understand that, it takes you to another level. You have to have a certain gratitude for this thing. Like for me, the reason why I stepped into it is because I look at what Dr. King did. I look at what Frederick Douglass did. I look at what Gandhi did. I look at all the great orators. I look at all the great individuals who spoke. They didn't speak just to speak, they spoke to change the world. A lot of you, you're just speaking to change your neighborhood. You're bigger than that. You need to speak to change the world. Like I say, I'm gonna say it this way, Shamarcus. I dare to say that most of you have been sounding like a whisper, and you're not sounding like an echo. Right? When I went to the Grand Canyon, Shamarcus, anything that you would say, it would echo. Even if I'm whispering, you would hear, yeah, 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 yeah. That's how you should live your life as a speaker. When you're no longer here, your echo should still be going on. People should remember the words that you say. And that's why I always say, you don't know a great leader by what they do when they're present. You know a great leader by what they do when they're absent. What are people going to say about you when you're no longer here? That's the most important that you need to focus about being a speaker. Don't worry about being paid. Money's the last thing that comes to you. The question is what's coming through you to make an impact, to make people want to pay you. Yeah.
Enough
Hey, my
said.
bad, man. My bad, man. It's like first
No,
48 over here. Got some
no,
currency
no,
today.
bro.
You feel me?
You again. You we talk a lot. We talk, and I know all of this stuff, and I even know how you roll and everything, and all the stuff that you say, and you always hit me with a couple bars here, with a couple
Yeah.
bars there,
Yeah.
and whoever is listening to this needs to really rewind this whole last question, just
Mm.
because you said some things that if you are going down this path, you really need to be okay with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta know that this comes with the job, right? Like I'll give you an example. If you're working on a trash can, I mean a trash truck, right? You got to be okay with getting a little wet. You got to.
Mm.
You either you're gonna get wet with rain, you're gonna get wet with dumpster juice, but you're gonna get it a little wet every
Mm-hmm.
day. But you got to be okay with that because that's what's entailed in that job, right?
Yeah.
What you said, man, you said it because I'm a diehard Kobe fan. Like
Yeah.
you already know. But Kobe, Kobe, I remember one game. Kobe, I think, broke his finger or dislocated his finger or something like that
Mm-hmm.
during the game, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a timeout. It wasn't nut. He went over and got it popped right back in place and still played.
Mm.
Like if you play sports, injuries are going to happen.
That's a
It's a
fact.
part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not injured or you don't get hurt or you don't get scraped or you don't get nothing,
Yeah.
you've not been in the game.
Come on.
Period. I don't even know how else to put it. If nothing happens to you, you're not in the game.
Mm.
I could be wrong. I'm trying to think of a sport that nothing will happen to you. Like I I got nothing.
Yeah.
Even baseball. If you don't get hit with a pitch, you ain't play baseball.
You ain't lying, bro.
I
It's a
mean,
fact.
you have to be okay with what goes on with this. And
Right.
once you say you're okay with everything that comes along with this, now you can really see the fruits. Now you can really see the bigger picture, right? Even with all the stuff that I'm doing, I know what goes along with this. So I'm
Mm.
okay with taking it. Once
Come
I'm
on.
okay with taking that now, okay, well, this is what I got to do. I got to do this. I got to do that. You know what I mean? But, bro, that was some real stuff. That was real.
Hey. Hey. Only the best for my brother. You already know. Yeah.
Bro,
Let's go.
this has been amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, I gotta let you tell the people where to find you, where to do all of this stuff because, bro, if they know like I know, they want to reach out to you, especially if they're going down the path. He gonna tell you 9 times out of 10, he gonna tell you, what is it? I'm not free and I'm not cheap. Or what are you doing to say?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going with it, but yeah, whatever Shamark is saying, he right.
No, remember when I remember one time it was like, what do these people think, man? They just reach out to me and think that all my years I'm supposed to just give it away for free. I was like, no. I think it was like some free ain't cheap and cheap ain't free or something like that, bro. You said.
Oh, I think it is the cheapest is not the best and the best is not the cheapest.
Yes,
Something like
there it is.
that.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Bro, I was
yeah,
like, that makes so much sense. That
yeah,
makes so much sense.
yeah. It's a fact. It's a fact,
Bro,
bro.
and let me say again, thank you, bro, for taking your time out because I know you
Appreciate
could
you,
have
fam.
been anywhere in the world, literally. But
Yeah,
thank you again, man. Tell the people where they can find you at. I'm gonna put the links because you're gonna send them to me. I'll put the links in the description and in
yeah.
the show notes on the podcast. But bro, like, thank you because a lot of people needed to hear that. What are your I typically all right, so what are your going out words?
Yeah, my going out words is from my uncle, Dr. Miles Monroe. And he says something that changed my life. Said the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but living life without purpose.
Okay, we're gonna leave on that one was deep, bro. That one.
Yeah,
Thank everybody for coming on the podcast. Thank you for
yeah,
listening.
yep,
Tell the people where they can find you at again. So
yep.
we'll do it like
Gotcha.
that. Then I'll put it on there.
Yeah, got you, man. So, Instagram, Will is Blessed, YouTube, William Winfield, Facebook, William Winfield, the website, if you're looking to be able to, book a speaker, WilliamWinfield.org, LinkedIn, William Winfield, Twitter, Will is Blessed. Yeah, that's where you can find me at, man. Super, super excited, man, to just continue to see your growth, man. I'm proud of you, fam.
Appreciate you, man. It's you are some of that reason why I am growing in the way that I'm growing. Ever since I met you from day one, we've been like this.
Yeah,
Real talk. You done came to
yep,
my house. You know my son. I know your
yep.
daughter. Like
Mhm.
everything. So
Yeah,
uh, this is real. Like you know what I mean. But man, shout out to you. Much success going forward. Thank you again for coming on, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
let's get it.